G'day viewers. I'm here with Angry.
Hey, I'll just leave then. Everything's being taken over.
Well, you know.
Actually, seriously, I'm normally the angry one, but the topic we wanted to cover today, I think might get Eva a little bit angry.
Just a little bit.
There's an article that was published in Australia by a writer called Bob Ellis. Grumpy old Bob Ellis. He's been around forever. He's been writing since the 60s, and he's written some very good stuff. He's become a little bit more famous in the last 10 to 20 years for being a grumpy old bugger who really, really doesn't like women very much.
He does not like us.
He asserts otherwise, but the casual reader of his documents leans in a slightly different direction.
Yeah, look, the piece we're talking about was published today, I think, on an Australian website, which the website itself sort of holds itself up to be a sort of, you know, female orientated, female friendly, from the female point of view website.
Yeah.
The article is titled, "What I Know About Women."
And seriously, Bob, you could have saved everyone a lot of time and been a bit more honest by leaving it blank. Or just writing nothing. Seriously, I've been around a long time and I've yet to learn a single goddamn thing about women.
Yes. Now, the piece itself starts off by talking about his mother.
His crazy mother.
His crazy, neurotic, psycho mother.
And what was it that made his mother exhibit crazy behaviour?
Well, Bob's dad he was a travelling businessman.
Travelling salesman, was away from home a lot.
When he'd come home, he'd be covered in lipstick on his collar, smelling like booze and women. And his mother would get quite cross and, you know, angry and yell and, you know, scream like a, what did he call her? A neurotic bitch or something like that.
And Bob's take on this, Dad who's been away for a long time, being a party man on the road, coming home drunk with lipstick on the collar, and Mum loses her shit a bit at this.
She tried to run him over with the car at one stage, apparently. Neurotic. Crazy.
Yeah, that might be taking it a little bit far. But he goes on about it. She would scream. Really? You think, Bob? You know, and this is the 50s, right? When a married woman is pretty much trapped. There was not a lot of options. If you had kids, you're a married woman in that period, you had to put up with whatever came your way. I'm not surprised the only outlet was screaming at the guy when he came home drunk, having been fooling around with women.
Yeah, the story starts with quite a tragedy, actually. You know, and this is something that I'm not going to make fun of at all because I don't think it deserves. It's you know, but Bob's sister, when he was 10, his sister was 22, I think, was tragically killed in a car accident. She was run down on the street by a couple of crazy drunk hoons.
They were drag racing.
Yeah, which is awful and tragic.
Absolutely awful.
So here is his poor mother who's dealing with the loss of a child, raising young Bob and his younger sister by herself because Dad's always away, you know, whoring it up with the ladies of the night.
In the pubs. And it's just, dude, her reacting badly to that is normal. It's not crazy.
No, and especially when you've lost a child, you're worried about, you know, your husband cheating and all this. Of course you're going to be crazy and go a bit sick when he comes home and he's got lipstick all over him. Like, I just don't know. So anyway, then we move on. You know, Bob managed to escape the craziness of his mother by going to university.
Yes, he was a country lad, went off to the big city for uni. And he talks about how he fell in love with every woman.
Oh, every woman he saw because all those crazy, you know, all those beautiful city women to the country lad.
And he talks about how he would propose to them all.
Because back in those days, the only way you could get laid was if you were going to get married.
That's how he put it. You had to either be married or promise to be married.
And then they'd give it up to you.
Yeah.
Now, he does say that he didn't actually have sex with any of the women. He just groped them and talks quite a bit about how, you know, women... Oh, this is right, because he talks about how, you know, he just, you know, groped them and they were pretty much, you know, never had an orgasm because... Here's the next tidbit.
Oh, yeah.
This is awesome. Women, we don't have sex for pleasure. We don't have sex for orgasms, no. According to Bob Ellis, we have sex to have babies.
he actually literally says that. It's not a metaphor.
I'm going to quote. I'm going to pull up his article right here and quote.
I mean, it's mind-blowing that someone will just say this and not expect to be smacked upside the head as a result of it.
Here we are. In fact, this spin says women have sex in order to orgasm. In fact, women have sex in order to have babies.
It's just the cluelessness required to say something like that. Like,
but it goes on. It goes on to say that when these women are left by their husbands, the bloke walks out and leaves them scrambling around in wine bars to find someone to impregnate them.
And this is a guy who goes on and on about not being sexist.
It's not sexist.
He's just such a narcissist.
Oh my God. Okay, so we only scramble around wine bars to have women impregnate us because, you know, we're just foolish, and we only make a commitment to men in order to have their babies. That's another quote. We make the commitment to have babies and to commit to raising a man's babies.
And it's hilarious. I've seen a few people comment on this online on the Twitters and whatnot. It's impossible to avoid. When he goes on about women and not having orgasms, it's really hard to avoid the assumption, Bob, just because you've never given a woman an orgasm doesn't mean women don't go looking for orgasms.
Yeah, you actually feel a bit sorry for his wife,
who seems to be a saint. He goes on to praise her and how she's always supported him, and she seems to be some kind of saint to put up with him.
There's something else in this article that kind of bothered me. I have no idea why he put this in, and you might be able to shed some light on this. He's talking about when he was you know, a bit younger than he is now.
Young Jack the Lad. He
had an affair.
Oh, yes,
he goes on to say he had an affair with the same woman. He had an affair 6 times, but it's actually one affair
where you had
sex 6 times. So he talks about having sex with her while her husband is asleep upstairs or downstairs
just as
or something.
Name dropping, by the way, the husband was a famous Australian writer at the time called George Johnson. So he's just name dropping. Oh, yeah, him, the big award winner who won awards I never won, banged his wife.
And then he goes on to say that a few years later he went back to London and blah, 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 and found out that this woman had committed suicide.
And he shares that with us.
And now I don't see how the two, unless, you know, I mean...
Well, okay, he's either just more of his bitches be crazy, or he's saying he's such a dud root, women kill themselves afterwards.
Yeah, you know, I'm more on the latter side of this one.
This is the evidence.
Now the parting shot that comes out in this is, you know, he doesn't hate women at all, but what he does say is that Australian women spend hours every day trying to look beautiful, and yet they sound like cats sliding down a blackboard.
He doesn't hate women. He's not sexist. And look, I do want to say, because right at the bottom it says, oh, he's got a you blah, 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 blah. And so people are, look, he's trolling. He just wants attention. He wrote something really outrageous just so you talk about him, and you fell for it. Look, and I agree to an extent. He's gone out there and been really extreme to get attention. You read the rest of the stuff he's written for the last 10, 20 years. I also believe he believes.
Oh, he absolutely believes
everything he wrote.
It's just... So to sum up, women are only on this planet to have men's babies. We only have sex to conceive. If we complain, we're crazy. We shriek like claws down a blackboard, and all we want to do is look beautiful. So thanks, Bob. Thanks for sticking up for us Australian women and women world over, because, you know, we really need to be told. Yep. Obviously, we're a bit stupid.
So, Bob Ellis, what you know about women needs an electron microscope to see it.
I know, he
honestly.
snorted.
Yes. Well, that's about enough for us.
I think we're going to leave it there and go and, you know, screech down a blackboard.
Yeah, and
have some, you know, orgasmless sex.
I'm going to steer clear of wine bars in case there's crazed women wanting me to impregnate them. That doesn't sound good at all. Anyway, bye.
Thanks, bye.